And yes, I do use a wood stove in Florida. It was only in the 40s again last night, so I went ahead and started this up just to save on my other heat. I have a lot of wood. It just cost me the work of, getting it cut and splitting it and bringing it in. Which you can see I've got a little bit of hardwood there for at night, and on this side's softwood that I use during the day. I've got a small fan here on top, which for some reason is not working right anymore. I may have to replace it because it's supposed to spin to blow the heat off the stove to another room or whatever. But for some reason it don't want to work real well anymore. And it strictly works on heat induction, where it sets on the base. The heat goes up through the aluminum casing and causes the motor to spin, turning the fan blades. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to buy a new one. This one's kind of old. With this fire here going, you see my temperature gauges back there. The stove right now is at about 250 degrees, which puts, heat into the room. Thermostat is right up here behind me for the central heat and air, and it says that right now it's 79 degrees in this room, this close to the stove. The whole room's not that warm, but that gives it that for the heat is putting off this close to it. And you can see where she lays at when it's cold. She's usually laying here somewhere close to the stove whenever it's going, when it gets cold like this. But that's it. This stove here is a Vermont castings. I can close those two doors. I take that screen out of the front, and at night I go ahead and close the doors and close it up. With the hardwood in there, then it burns a long time. It's an airtight stove. It's a Vermont castings, so it'll burn a long time with wood in it. I just leave it open like this now, which lets more of the heat come out the front, instead of heating the stove up, and do it that way. But that's the wood stove. Back away just a fraction here.